Mark. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good.
There you
Thank
go.
very much.
Mhm.
The Mylar is the only thing that I have left to give you.
That's correct. You can bring, Rochelle Hodgson for the record, land use director, bring the Mylar to the office and we'll, have Mr. Von Holmes, chairman, come and sign it.
Perfect.
And
Yeah, they give me a call, I'm usually around town. Yeah.
I'll reach out to the surveyor and get the Mylar cut up.
how's the silver?
Good. Sore, but thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. All right. That next item on the agenda. Next item on the agenda is a report requested by the zoning commission per Connecticut statute 124-8-3, 202 Lake Candlewood Road, zoning applications Z2273 for a zone change of residential R40 to marine commercial MC zone. Now, Rochelle sent me a note saying that Neil Marcus would like to talk about this property, and he cannot be here tonight. And he also sent me an email tonight, which I opened up at about 7 o'clock, which says there's a neighbor who has submitted 60
Yeah.
pages.
That's correct. There's a whole folder over there of information that was submitted this morning, which I didn't have time to get to until later in the day. It's been printed. You all have it, should have it in your inboxes in at your home, except I think Mr.
Dale.
Dale. Mr. Dale, I think I said to you that I couldn't.
Yeah, I got
upload
2 of
so
those.
much information,
Yes.
like 22 megabytes or something, so it
Mhm.
didn't go through. So if you didn't get an email from me regarding this matter today, it's probably because your inbox won't accept enormous documents. Nonetheless, the documents are a part of the file now, and it is indeed true that Mr. Marcus had indicated he wanted to be here, although, as you know, this is a commission meeting and commission matter, and it's not a public
Yeah,
hearing.
there's no way we can digest 60
No,
pages
certainly
right
not.
now.
I would agree.
And is there a way we can defer this discussion until our next meeting?
Yes, absolutely. The only requirement for the statute, the general statute 124, section 8-3A is that the zoning commission needs to receive an opinion or a comment report from this commission 35 days. I'm sorry, but they're supposed to be notified 35 days before the public hearing. So you have 35 days for the public hearing. So, and they have not yet set the public hearing, so there's still.
They haven't set the public hearing yet?
They have not,
Okay, fine.
so you're fine.
But you couldn't inform them that we have delayed our review of the material until the first meeting we have in February, which is
The second, I believe.
2 weeks from today.
February 2nd, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
February 2nd.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay.
Excuse me. There's a lot of history with this, and I'm the person who submitted the.
And you'll have all the opportunity to talk about it. But at this point in time, I know that the applicant would like to talk also at the same time, so not having the ability for you to rebut your history, I think it's probably better to wait until we have both sides here represented, and then we just go through it and listen to what's going on.
Okay, just go ahead and give you a quick snapshot. but
No,
that's fine.
I understand that these things can get very upsetting between, something unexpected going on with your neighbor and something you don't want to do. I see that you got a lot of concerns because you got a lot of documentation there. We haven't gone through it. Give us a chance to do that. We'll hear what Mr. Marcus has to say, and you have the ability to rebut him at that time,
Okay,
okay?
thank you, I appreciate that.
All right? So, but we do thank you for coming in, but rather than having a biased view right now of one side, we have no side right at this point in time. I read the application and the rationale that the applicant has put in, It makes some sense, but that doesn't mean that we've made up our mind at all. Okay? All right. Thanks again for coming in. Come see us in February.
Yeah, what date is it gonna be?
February 2nd at 7:30 here in this room, Thursday.
Mr. Chairman, just a question.
Yes.
Hi, Marco Massa, President of the Salt Club. I know you're gonna meet again on February 2nd. We have probably 100 pages to submit to you. Do we have time to do that before your next meeting? Or
Yes,
do we
indeed.
argue it in?
You certainly do. Mr. Vasirka submitted his documents just today,
Right,
so
yes.
there's plenty of time. The sooner the better, obviously. so
Please
that-
try to get them, at the meetings on the 2nd, please try to get them the Monday of that week, which will probably be December 30th or 31st, January 30th or 31st. Please try to get them into the office so that we have
To be
proper
able to
time to get
distribute,
them.
yeah,
To land
just
use
to
office.
land use office, yes. Thank you.
Okay? Thank you folks for coming in.
It's just a question. There's a lot of pages for us to consume.
Right.
We're not gonna get them just a few days prior to the meeting, right?
No, that's-
We will have opportunity to read them, I guess, in as far in advance as we can in order to give us a chance to read them, right?
Could you make up the
Yeah.
packets of 60 pages? That's a lot of printing.
Now we're
Yeah.
talking 150
Well, I'm
pages.
electronic,
Yeah,
it's email.
160 pages.
So, yeah, the office can only do what it can do. Now, if the applicants, or the applicant and/or those opposed to this opinion that's
Mhm.
going to be formed by the planning commission, if they would submit enough copies for everyone, I mean, we're not a private corporation, we're a
Right.
government who pays for every single copy we
Yeah,
make.
well, I have to pay for everything I print
Right.
So,
myself, so.
yeah, so, it would behoove the parties here to supply the commission with enough copies, hard copies, so that they can read them. I'll certainly make available what I can, and certainly you already have that on,
Yep.
an email, and I will do the same, of course, for this group here, for the Sokol Club itself.
Yeah,
I make every effort to make this available, and I can only do that providing you get the information to me on time, so,
Right.
Okay.
that's what I'll try
How
to
many
do.
copies do you need? 6, 7?
I would probably, it would be safe to say, 6 copies would be sufficient of all your materials. That would be very helpful. Yes,
Excuse
Mr.
me,
Visser?
What's your name?
My name is Rochelle Hodza. You emailed me
Oh,
today.
Rochelle.
Yes, I'm the land use director.
I don't require paper. You can email it. I'm
Yeah,
good.
same with me. I
Yeah.
bring my iPad all the time for these things.
Yeah.
Good. So I guess we only need, 1, 2, 3, say 4 copies, then would be sufficient.
All right, move on. Other business now we're into. Discussion of election of officers, any change, anybody wants
Yes,
change? Okay, go ahead.
yes, Scott is gonna replace my name as vice president.
He's going
Vice
for,
chairman. He's going for it, yeah.
he's going for, it, right?
That's a way to put it, I suppose, yeah.
Right,
Oh.
yeah.
Scott is going for, so now the, proposed slate, which we'll be voting on
Next
February
month, right.
2nd, will be John Van Heist, chairman,
Right,
Scott Dale, vice chairman,
yes,
and Michael DeVal, secretary?
that's correct.
Oh, you're sneaking out on us.
I think they need to.
All right, okay.
I was the third choice.
You're the third choice.
Never, never.
But I'm fine
Scott.
with it.
Scott, you were never the third choice. Don't sell yourself.
Okay, that'll be it then. All right. Let's review some minutes of other commissions then, okay? Some of them were from the last meeting, December 2nd. First one we got on the docket here is the zoning commission meeting of December 8th. And they did several public hearings on accessory apartments, which really are no concern to us, although they do help the affordable housing situation. We also reviewed 101 Park Ridge Road, Steiner property that we looked at. They went through the public hearing on that, and they approved a office building of 47,000 square feet with a light manufacturing warehouse building that's be built on that property that we reviewed back in November. So that took place. They approved that. Most of this is normal residential stuff. I don't know if anybody else had comments on the second, the December 8th meeting of zoning. And by the way, they also are going through their election process, and they decided to keep all the current officers in place as they are.
It was all brand new, too.
Yeah, so. Okay, and then we had a wetlands meeting on January 9th. And that looks like it's pretty much, yeah, pretty much business as usual, not much of concern to planning at this point in time. The only thing in new business, they are doing work with the conjunction, they show work going in conjunction on the lighted property on Station Road. That used to be at one time a laundromat, dry cleaner. They're working together with the owner of the property. The cleanup has started and they are in the process of working with them to get that going. The owner there explained he got $2 million from the state, and that his company would contribute $800,000 to clean up the site. And they're gonna put an apartment building on that site after it's cleaned up. Any other comments on Wetlands Commission meeting of January 9th? If not, we'll move on. The ZBA had a meeting on January 9th. And that one was typical zoning board of appeals thing, lot lines, structures closest to lot lines, a lot of residential stuff. Nothing which really concerns our commission, seems to be doing what's normally in their purview. So, anybody have comments on the ZBA minutes of January 9th? If not, I'll move on. Board of Selectmen meeting was held on January 9th also. They made an announcement that the Connecticut Siting Council will be making a decision in February regarding the Vale Road cell tower, which would be it's out of our hands. They do it, the town gives input, but the state says where it's gonna be. You waking everybody up, Gene? Let's see, they've secured services for a capital tax recovery firm to identify unregistered vehicles. I guess they're gonna go after those people who have them, get the tax at the property tax. Also announced a coffee with the community on Saturday, January 28th at 9 a.m. at Jester's on Federal Road. It's your opportunity to speak and talk to our Board of Selectmen. And they announced there are a lot of vacancies on boards and commissions right now. There's the Arts Commission, Board of Assessment Appeals, Inland Wetlands Commission, Lake Lily Noah Authority, Municipal Building Committee, our commission, planning, and Water Pollution Control Authority. So if you have friends who want to get involved with the community, there are plenty of opportunities available. All they have to do is write a letter to the town hall, First Selectman's office, and they can get themselves considered for a volunteer job. Okay, I think that's pretty much the highlights that I saw in the Board of Selectmen minutes. Anybody got comments on Board of Selectmen minutes? No? Okay. We've been following the Charter Revision Committee, December 5th meeting that they had. No comments about zoning or planning on that, even though they're talking about combining of commissions. Okay, that was not discussed at this meeting.
I think that was previous.
Primarily, they were focusing on the youth, reestablishing the youth commission and budgeting and the Board of Finance as far as how they are, how many members on the Board of Finance. They're talking about possibly adding another member and or dropping the first selectman as an ex-officio officer. Any comments on that? If not, we'll move on to informal discussion.
Mr. Chairman, point of order, this is a special meeting, and I don't think we have informal discussion on the agenda.
Can we not have it?
Is it, it's not on the agenda, we can't have it.
Okay.
Motion to add it to the
Yes, it is.
agenda, I'd like to
Yeah,
bring
I'm sorry.
something up.
Yeah.
Point of order, you cannot, at a special meeting, you cannot add things to the agenda.
Okay, fine, then we'll wait to discuss.
Yeah, we'll have to wait till next time.
Because there's the land use education that I
Right.
wanted to
Yeah.
discuss.
Which they asked us to bring up.
I
Which
did,
they
I
asked
did.
us to bring up
Yeah,
at
I
the.
did.
We pay attention.
Yes, I know, and thank you,
Yes.
but unfortunately, this is a
Well,
special meeting, and I didn't.
unfortunately, the first meeting is,
Yeah,
is
this,
February 2nd. I
Is
wanted
it a
to make sure
spec-
they were aware
Right.
of it, that's all.
yeah, this is a.
I don't even know why they paid me for this job. I'm not even here. Yeah. So the problem is.
Is this
as
a
you may
special
know-
meeting
as
or is
you
this
may-
a rescheduled
Okay,
meeting?
there are three kinds of meetings according to the state statutes, the Freedom of Information Act. This happens to be what's known as a special meeting. It doesn't mean it's special in any other way except that it's not a regular meeting. That's all
Okay.
that it means. When it's a special meeting, and the word special is
Mhm.
really,
Subjective.
a bit weird, but when it's a special meeting,
All
nothing
right.
can be added to the agenda. The agenda has to be
We'll-
published.
We'll adjourn and then
So-
discuss it.
So
The
maybe,
agenda has to be published, that would be fine. The agenda has to be published 24 hours before the meeting. And since this information that I received today came to me after the
Minutes
publication
before
of
the
the
meeting.
special.
but
wait.
if something's gonna be informal, it wouldn't be on the agenda as well, it'd just be a column for informal discussion.
Okay,
It's not a topic
okay,
to be added
okay,
to.
Maybe you know the FOIA rules better than I do.
I'm not claiming that, I'm
I've
just.
only, sat through those lectures 4 times.
Okay.
Yeah,
But, it's real, look, I'm not gonna argue with you. You wanna talk, but I
All I
would suggest
wanted
that.
to do was make sure there was
Yes.
aware of a
The
meeting
chair-
on February 2nd,
The chairman's
that's
idea, I
all.
think, is a good one. We can just simply take care of that after the meeting closes.
I'm not supposed to tell you, but there's a meeting on February 2nd that's supposed to help you get qualified for being a land use person, so.
okay.
Yep,
But
I
I'm
got
not
the
telling
email
you.
about
Yeah, and going back to what we were talking about with charter and some of the other minutes, I didn't see anything in there about what I wanted to talk about, which is something regarding to the highways that are taking place,
Yeah.
so.
Just,
All right,
can
well-
you, Ms. Llewellyn, can you please make a note that the land use officer has left the room? Thank you.
Okay, Linda, I think we can.
This seems
have-
restrictive, overly so,
Yeah, exactly.
and pointless.
Yep.
It does, and the town is not a better for it.
No.
Motion, Linda,
Motion to adjourn.
second on that, a motion to adjourn? Got a second from John?
Yep.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Turn off your microphones.
And then we can talk.
I can't turn the damn thing off.